It's so interesting as I'm reading Mark 2, 1 through 2. The house is so packed. I love that. The house is so packed, and it's packed with people who have put their only hope in Jesus at this point. It's packed with people. Kim, my wife, Kim will tell you that probably the only time I've ever spoken to what I would call a completely packed house. I mean, a totally, completely packed. When I say totally packed house, there was not a seat left in the place. People were sitting on. It was a place called Fortaleza, Brazil, and we had traveled there. It was a long ways to get. We had to go to Rio and then back up. It's on the coast of Brazil, and we were at our hotel, and they were going to come get us to speak that evening at church, and it was 7 o'clock, and the car didn't show up till like 7:15. The meeting was supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but that's okay. They showed up and they picked us up, and then we get into the back of this car, and the driver just kind of guns it, floors it, and starts driving through all the streets of the city in Brazil, and every red light, they wouldn't even slow down. They drive straight through it. And they were even told by the police, here you don't stop for red lights, because if you do, you're likely to have people carjack you. And there's so much crime going on. And so they were even instructed by the police at that time to just keep on driving, don't even slow down, go straight through red lights. And that's what we're doing, whipping through the town, getting to this church where we're supposed to speak at night. And as soon as we pull up to the church, there are these big iron gates that open up, and the car drives in and drives down underneath the building, and the gates close behind us. It's just this part of Brazil. There's so much crime and so many drugs and so much going on that there's high security everywhere you go. And as we got out of the car and walked into this little room and then up some stairs and immediately walked out on a stage. And you guys, some of you know my wife, Kim, and she doesn't like to be on stage, but she had no choice to walk out right there on stage in this crowd of people. And we looked out together on a packed house. When I say packed house, it was more crowded. Certainly in America, it would have been shut down for code violations, right? But there were people sitting there were even young college students that were sitting on stairs that led up to the stage and sitting all around the stage. Young people, old people, people from all over. It was just so slam packed in that place. And as we walked out, and everybody's just in there singing, and they're singing to the top of their lungs. They're speaking Portuguese, and we didn't speak Portuguese. I had to even have a translator to translate for me when I spoke. But they're singing a song, and the song, I can just make out the words, two words that they were singing over and over and over. And with tears coming down their eyes and their arms lifted, they were singing, Usa me, Usa me. They were begging for God, would you just use me? Use me. You can use me. And I thought to myself, why is it so? Why are they packed out in there? Why are they so passionate? Why are they so calling out, God, use me? And I begin to discover that those living in that place, so many of them, they didn't have some of the trappings that distract us away that we think we can put our hope in. Those things have already been, they had, so many lived in extreme poverty. But they yelled out to the one, truly the one who is their only hope in the middle of what they're living in, to Jesus. And strangely enough, in our lives, we have to ask and say, whatever it takes. Let me not put my hope here on this, and let me not put my hope here on this, but whatever you have to do, bring me to that place where my only hope is you, Jesus. Because you are all that matters in life.